Bad there. I became darker and more evil all the time. How many people here listen to heavy metal music or have? Okay, that's good. That'll rot your brain pretty quick. My first music, which I did get in Alabama, was AC/DC, Highway to Hell. You know, you'd really think about these things. If you really look back and think, now, why am I listening to a song about Highway to Hell? I don't want to go there. You know? But I didn't think about it. I thought it was just cool, you know. So I got into Metallica, Sepulveda, all that kind of stuff. Now I'm 40, and that was my thing back then. Folks, that music is not for Christians. That music is for non-Christians. That music is to suck your children into the occult. It is very blatant now. They don't even mess around anymore. I just hit a button. Sorry, buddy. Not that? Yep, I did. It's very, very blatant as to what that music does today. It tells you about the occult. It tells you how to become a Satanist. It tells you how to do everything except worship God, the one who created you. It's so blasphemous. Now it's not just heavy metal now. Now the rap is horrible. How many listen to rap? Yeah. I've heard some of that rap, and I can't even believe the stuff that comes out of that. Well, let me go on. While I was there in California, I learned everything I could about drugs. And I learned everything I couldn't about school. I didn't do school. School wasn't in my plan. I went, but just to get high. And it's not good, folks. I don't have a high school diploma. You know what it's like to get a job in this country without a high school diploma? You don't. Unless you want to work at McDonald's. Actually, no, they require it now too. I forgot. You got to stay in school. You really do. I made a huge mistake doing that. Huge. Terrible. Well, things led to things, and it got worse and worse and worse and worse. And I can't even explain to you how worse it got. But let me try to help you with a few things. At about the age of 13, there was so much pain inside my head. Now, most of you are not going to understand this. You're not going to be able to because it's not comprehensible by normal people. But abnormal people who will have experience with this will be able to understand this quickly. There was so much pain inside my head, so much depression inside my head. I lived in a world of all I want to do is die. That was my world. I found out something neat. If you take a razor blade and you slice yourself with it and bleed really bad, it makes the pain feel a little better. So now I'm sitting here with an arm that's nothing but scars. This entire arm there was a tattoo here once. It's not there anymore. It's covered over with scar tissue. And I don't know if anybody that you know does that, but let me tell you, we read. It's part of what the demoniac did, didn't he? He took sharp stones and cut himself. Nothing new under the sun, is there? Nothing new. And it isn't of God, that's for sure. We know that. That is definitely not of God. That is something that the devil wants you to do. He wants to destroy you. He wants to kill you. He wants to hurt you. Do anything he can to get you away from God. Anything. Doesn't care what that has to entail. So I just started a little bit, just little scratches, wasn't much, But now I carry scars that will never go away. Now, I have been told, you can have those surgically or lasered away, and I said, you kidding me? I look at those every morning I wake up. And I remember where I come from. Do you? Do you remember where you came from? A lot of Christians have a tendency. They will come to the Lord and they'll get saved and they'll start really going in the church and learning. And then they'll forget where they came from. Then they'll have these attitudes. Oh man, look at that guy with that mohawk over there. Man, I can't even believe somebody like that. Well, there's no hope for him. You're looking at the man that had no hope. You're looking at somebody who was at the absolute lowest a person could go without being dead. Well, let me tell you some more things that went on. I started growing up, and I was just really into drugs. I did a lot of dope. And started to, try to get jobs and things, and found myself having to do some things that you shouldn't do in jobs in order to get money. I actually could have had a pretty good career with Kinney's shoes. Of course, not business now, so I guess the career would be gone. But I became the assistant manager in Carson City. That was great. I was really impressed. I was happy until the manager took a vacation. And I thought, if I return some of these shoes, I could get some money for drugs. So I did. and he caught me. I should have spent some time in jail, but he was a very gracious man and did not make me spend time in jail. However, I did spend a little time in jail because the cops came to my house and came in and found a pipe laying on the table. That was it. Off to jail I went. Of course, I wasn't one of those kind of druggies that was there's no honor in drug deal or druggies and all that, right? And I turned somebody over in order to get out of it. I said, I'll set you up with a guy that sells coke. That'll help you out. So I got out of it. Yeah, it's what we usually do. People like that usually do. At any rate, during the time I spent in Carson City, I had a coven there as well. Coven is a satanic church. It's exactly opposite of this. Many of you may not believe in demons. Some of you don't probably even believe in the devil, but I'm here to tell you that they're all real. I've seen them. Physically seen them. Now, not the devil, but I've seen the demons. Seen them following me, chasing me. Now, this wasn't when I was in my mental state yet, but it's not fun. It's really not fun. I've heard people say, boy, I wish I had the gift of seeing demons. Then I'd know where they were. No, you don't. Let me tell you, that would be the dumbest thing you could ever pray for, because you wouldn't stop seeing them and it would really freak you out. At any rate, fortunately the jail thing the coven broke up because I had to leave Carson City and go back with Mom again. I was a mama. How many people here are mama's boys? Come on, I don't want to feel alone here. Okay, man, boy was I a mama's boy, let me tell you what. But I went back and, I tried so many different things and nothing ever worked. I went to college for a little while. Yes, without a diploma. Don't ask how they did that one. I still haven't figured that one out, but they let me go for a while. I can't remember if we lied to them or what, but somehow I got in there. And I blew that, But during that time, I met a woman at McDonald's. And I went up to the counter, and of course I had to always embarrass my friend because he was like a chicken around girls. And she said, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I want 4 of everything. And she looked at me straight in the face and said, you don't look like you can afford it. I said, you're right. I like you. That woman I happened to have married 18 years ago. We celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary on the 16th of this month, and I wasn't even there. But she's seen me through what I'm going to tell you about next. She's been there for 3 years? Something like that. Long time. Don't you know, without God, these things don't get better by themselves, do they? No. They get worse. They get a lot worse. We were living with Mom and Dad. Now, none of us were saved, so don't judge them for this. We were living with Mom and Dad, and they finally, I think they got kind of tired of us living there without being married, and that was probably a smart thing for them to do. And they finally said, you know what? One or the other is going to happen. Either you're going to get out or you're going to get married. The only problem with the whole thing was I think it was me that was going to get out, and she was going to get to stay. So I thought marriage was a good idea. So we did. We got married. And that's when it got bad. It's gotten really bad. I started sending my wife to Sacramento to get my pot for me because I was too paranoid to go. She bought 1/8 shy of a pound, $400 worth every week. Now, I know a lot of you probably think, whoa, no way can one person do that. But trust me, that was what happened. At any rate, the cutting started getting worse. The demon stuff got a lot worse too. The devil was doing everything he could to drive me insane. I had a scorpion crawl across me once. I just freaked me out, those kind of things. Anyhow, we kept going, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And one night I had run out of my dope. And of course, the next best thing for me was Wild Turkey, 101 proof. And so that's what I drank. I drank a little bit of it.